Are you ready?
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Kesha Said It. Hey guys. I just want to touch in and start this episode with making sure that you are taking care of yourself. February is American Heart Month. Guess that the month of love would be associated with hearts. So take care of your heart, see your cardiologist, check your numbers and check your stats. We want you around for a very long time. So February 2nd was Wear Red, but guess what? February is the month of love. So feel free to wear red all month long and support National Heart Month, heart health to be exact. Thank you for joining the Kesha Said It Show. All right, guys, let's deep dive into today. Hey, guys, I'm Kesha Said It, and welcome to all my new subbies. If you are new to this channel, welcome to my podcast. I will be dropping new drops every Thursday at 3 a.m. So just click, like, subscribe, and tell a friend, phone a friend, and let them know that Kesha Said It is here. And we have some great topics to discuss. But today's episode is going to be nothing but about love. All things love, guys. Yes, all things love. So let's just get right on into it. So welcome everybody. Welcome the returnees that did check out episode 1. I do appreciate you guys. I know it's a very tough feat to, take time to listen to a YouTube podcast. Even, someone new like myself with everything that's going on with work, life, and your own hat. So I just want to thank you guys for everything and for supporting me so far. Thanks. I really do appreciate that. All right. So I said today we're going to talk a little bit about love, all things love. Well, let's just get right on into it. When we talk about love, we talk about not just our relationships with each other, meaning lover relationships. When we say relationships, we always go to your significant other, but that could be friendships, that could be coworkerships, that could be situationships. Yes, situationships. And so I want to talk a little bit about, healthy relationships, toxicity, why we may be attracted to toxic relationships, and also balancing love. I don't know if a lot of you guys watch 90 Day Fiance, but it's very interesting. It's one of me and my husband's favorite shows to watch together. And you get to see all these individuals that are like traveling across the country, or they've met someone across the country and they're coming here to America to live together, to be together, to see if this thing is going to work. Well, they have 90 days to get married and pop the question, plan a wedding, all that jazz. And so the journey that some of these couples go on is like astounding. If you watch it, I'm wondering, like, is this really real? You see a lot of relationships that you may have this guy that's just kind of average, but like this season, this couple has been on, I think, at least 2 of the franchise shows before the 90 days. Now they're on 90 days. And the lady in the relationship is she says on the show that she's insecure. So she's gotten all this work done, all this plastic surgery, which there's nothing wrong with plastic surgery, honey. If I could afford a BBL right now, guess where I would be? Getting a BBL. But it just doesn't seem like her and the dude are equally yoked. She says that she loves him so much and that he does everything for her. He's gotten her down here to America. They're getting ready to walk down the aisle and get married. I think in the next episode, but their journey has been far from perfect. She's had guy friends that she's actually dated in the past, and most recently she told them that, in order for her to get her BBL completed, she borrowed money from the ex. Yes, the ex, y'all. I was just like, wait, what? No. So that just goes to show you that everybody's level of tolerance, and what they can withstand, their threshold, is different. So I don't know. If you haven't checked out 90 Day Fiance, check out all of the franchises. I mean, they're really, really good. They have Before the 90 Day, they have 90 Day, and then they have The Single Life, which is like previous people that's been on the show that have possibly been married or about to like cross that line of being engaged, and then now they're like single because it didn't work out. And then they have Happily Ever After. And so those are like the married couples that have been like together from the beginning, and now they're like 1 or 2 years in their marriage. So check it out. Very, very great franchise. I love it. I've been watching it for years. So maybe drop some comments after you watch it and let me know what you think. So moving right along, I'll talk about thresholds. Thresholds, what can you tolerate? And I think we get into these relationships with individuals. So we'll start with our normal relationships, our lover relationships. And we've all been there. Heck, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And we get into these situations where they're not the best for us. They're not the most healthiest for us. I mean, that's a whole word. And so something about that relationship drives us to remain in it. It could be, comfortability. We're comfortable with that person. Maybe we've been there with them for 15 years, 20 years. It could be we're enamored, or we love the superficial part of them. Maybe we're hella attracted to them. The chemistry is just off the charts. It's kind of one of those relationships where when it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's so bad. However, there's a little piece of you that is attached to that bad part, right? That bad part kind of gets you going a little bit. And so some people relate that to passion. Can be, maybe not. But a lot of times finding a healthy relationship and a balanced relationship is really, really hard because of that. We're drawn to toxicity for whatever reason. If you've ever had situations where it may be yourself, or maybe you're observing a friend or a family member that you're that go-to person for them. Like they always call you and y'all have that conversation, and it's like, oh, I'm dating this new chick, or I'm dating this new dude. And you start thinking, you're like, wait, who is this again? And they're like, it's so-and-so. And you're like, oh, shoot, that sounds like the last person you was dating, right? And it's like they keep picking the same person. They keep drinking from that same cup. And I tell my friends, hey, we have these conversations and these dialogues about, hey, it's nothing out there. The dating scene is horrible. And I'm like, what have you tried? Because what I'm hearing you say is the same thing that you've been saying. You're looking for the same person in another person. So what that means is that those characteristics are the identical. The person is different, but you're still looking for the same characteristics that were not good in the last person that are not good in this person. So when you keep drinking from that same cup, you're going to get those same results, right? And I get it. You're very comfortable. Sometimes you get tired of trying to think outside of the box and like, oh, let me try something different. Or you just don't want to, you're just stubborn. You have a type, and but sometimes you got to drink from a different cup. That cup may look a little different. You may like thin people, and guess what? This person that you're vibing with is a little thick, right? Or, I don't even want to start talking about colorism, but everybody has a type. And in the Black community, there's light skin, red skin, dark skin, all kind of different colors of skins, because melanin is popping. We come in all shades, honey, and we love it. But you may get some people that truly just like dark skin individuals, or the opposite. You may get a person that likes light skin individuals. Well, guess what? Those light skin individuals have not been, those characteristics are toxic. And you may be vibing with someone that may be a little browner. That's a different cup. Drink from that cup. Get those different results. And so I say this to say, because, like I said in episode 1, I'm not ever going to come on here and talk to you guys about something that I have not experienced, I have not done, I have not been through. And I feel like I can talk about it because I've done it, So I say this to say, my journey, I did drink from the same cup of tea for many, 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 many years. And when I came across my husband, I wasn't looking for him. And so you hear that little cliche term, oh, when you stop looking, that's when you're going to find, right? It's like, if I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times. How many people are going to tell me to just stop wanting to be married, stop wanting to be in a relationship, stop looking for someone to be in a relationship with or to marry, and then it's just going to happen? Well, guess what, honey?
Are you ready?
Are you ready for the tea? Yeah, it's real. It is so real. So at the point in time where I had been drinking from the same cup, and I was like, had been engaged twice, nothing was working. I was like, you know what, this is just too much. I'm gonna really take time for myself. And I got to a point in my life where I was selfish, right? I was in my selfish era. And when I talked to you last week about intentional, I believe that's probably when I started my intentional journey. That's when I started realizing, you know what? I'm just going to do me in all facets of my life, meaning I'm going to stop. I'm going to press pause. I don't want to keep drinking from the same cup because it obviously ain't working. And guess what? I'm X amount of age. And if I don't get married, I don't get married. I'm good. I got my sweet little Shih Tzu, may he rest in peace, T-Peasy died this past summer, my sweetheart. But he was with me. So I was just like, hey, we good. I'm going to go ahead and buy that house. My career was getting uphill and getting towards the peak. So I was in a good place. So I became very selfish and I was not looking for anyone. So lo and behold, here he comes unexpectedly, walks into my life and looks completely like nothing I have ever dated. Was not to shade anybody in my past, but was completely brilliant and blew everybody else out the water that I previously dated. The conversations was on a whole nother level. And I was just like, wow, I was intrigued. And I wasn't intrigued by the things that I usually are intrigued by. Yeah, he was in his career. He had a very great career, does have a very great career, was doing great things, had no children, because that was one of my things on my list. No kids, did not want to deal with baby mama drama. So didn't have any kids. All that was in place. But for something so superficial like skin tone, or could be height, if you're used to dating really tall people and this person is like, they're tall, but they're not as tall as you would like, just tiny little mediocre crap that really in the big picture doesn't make any sense, right? It makes no sense. So I drank from the cup. And guess what? We've been married 14 years, okay? 14, going on 14 years. I'm sorry. We've been married 13 years. That's how awesome it is. I'm counting my years before we even hatch it. But we are in our 14-year era, meaning we are in that era, around that circle, and we will complete our 14-year to officially be married 14 years this November. So kudos to us. But you have to drink from a different cup. You got to be open-minded. You can't be in this little box, especially the older you get. Listen, things are going to change. When you start 20s, you got the, what is it called? The sampler box, right? The Russell Stover sampler box. You could pick the creams, or you could pick the nuts, and you can pick the truffles or whatever. But guess what? That box gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You hit them 30s, it's smaller and smaller and smaller. And your expectations start to change, because what you were looking for, that superficial, oh, does he look good? What kind of car does he drive? Oh, does he have a good job? How much money does he make? It sounds like an old song by much money does he make? What is that? I can't think of the group, but I'm gonna remember it. But it starts changing, right? It starts changing, and it starts sounding a little bit like, ooh, does he have a good relationship with his mom? Does she have a good relationship with her mom or her dad? What does that family look like? Does he have a 401k? Does he have a pension? Does she have a pension? Does she want to further her education? Does she want kids? Does he want kids? So that box gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you get into your 40s. Shout out to the 40 Club. Hey, hey, hey. You get into your 40s, and then that box gets even smaller. And it's like, oops, okay. So some of that stuff I said was on my checklist in my 20s and my 30s. He got 2 kids. She got 2 kids from a previous marriage. So that means they got kids, they've been married. And is that something that you good with? Your expectations and what you're willing to accept should change because you've grown. You have evolved. And if you haven't evolved and you're still stuck in the 20s and the 30s and you're drinking from the same cup of tea, guess what? Don't cry about being alone. Don't cry about it because it is what it is. You have to be willing to evolve and think outside of that box in order to find some happiness. So it's all about what you're looking for and what you're willing to accept. Also, nowadays, it's about what you're bringing to the table. It's not just about the man, being the breadwinner and making things happen. And it's about dual income. It's about dual career households. These men out here, I could tell you now, just from the outside looking in, having conversations with men at work in passing that are still single and are in my age group, they are looking for a lifetime partner. And I keep speaking it from the female perspective because, hey, I'm female. But I'm sure that if a man is watching this, he can see that there's certain things that he's looking for too. So these men are not out here wanting to take care of someone. They are wanting someone that can help them along that journey. So what? Be that power couple. Let's be great together type situation. Let's build this empire. Let's make this work. They're not looking for somebody that's saying, oh, well, I need to get my hair done and my check was a little short. Or I don't want to work. I want to be a housewife. Now, we've all sung that song. Let me tell you, like I said, I'm not going to sit on here and say something that I didn't do, I thought about, I tried. Okay. I have been a housewife before I had my daughter. And what I realized out of that journey is, and I may still flip flop. You may hear when my husband comes up here and he tells me, we have a conversation and he start talking to you guys and he'll say, oh, she always talking about being a housewife. It's that kind of thing in your mind where you're like, man, I wish I could just, have my own business. I wish I could just be a housewife and take care of you and the kid, make sure dinner's cooked every night. And then you wake up from that and you're like, oh, no, I need to get to work because I can't be in this house all day. Who want to cook 5 days a week? Oh, no, do laundry. What? And have it. Oh, no. And then it's too much, right? But they are not wanting people that are not wanting to contribute to that bucket. And let me tell you, the reward is great when you can contribute to that bucket. Why? Because you don't have to ask nobody for nothing. If you a spending person, like I'm a spending person, and sometimes you just get in your spirit where you want to go shopping and you want to buy this and you want to buy that, and you don't want to have to call that person and be like, hey, is it okay if I spend this $500? And you know it ain't going to be okay. Why? Because y'all only got one income. You shouldn't even feel right calling that person saying, can I spend $500? Unless it's on groceries, unless it's on a child's camp, unless it's on a sport or extracurricular activity for your kid. But it's bye-bye for you if you're not trying to bring nothing to the table. So I say this to say times have changed, and I'm digressing. So let me get back to the get back. But the ultimate goal is to find balance and love. So I'm not saying nobody's going to have any type of level of toxicity in their relationships. Be it friendship, career, coworkership, whatever it is. What I'm saying is you have to understand what you're willing to tolerate and when you have had enough. Now, you may walk into a relationship and it's 6 months in or it's 3 months in and you start seeing these flags. These flags are blaring and you're like, oh no, I'm good. No, he just, or he just, he just a little possessive. He texts me 5 times a day, but I kind of like it. It lets me know that he's thinking of me and it lets me know he's not looking to go nowhere. That don't mean that. I mean, he's controlling, honey, and you need to really deep dive into that and have some tough conversations with him. It's okay to have tough conversations. Or, I went to her place and, it was a little junky, but she probably just had a bad week or off week, or she needed to borrow $200, because her check was short, or da da da. Don't go into a relationship and then get in a relationship. This happened the first 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then guess what? A year later, 18 months later, she or he is still doing the same thing, and that has not changed. And now you want to confront it, and you want to get upset about it because you knew what it was when you knew what it was. In the beginning of the situationship or the relationship or the conversationship, you knew that chick wasn't cleaning. You knew her check was always short. You knew that he was controlling. You knew that he didn't answer his phone after midnight and you couldn't find him until 10 o'clock the next morning, or he sent you that text message. You knew that, but you kept dealing in that space with that person. So we gotta be smart about it. We gotta be like, this is not for me. I've recognized it. I gotta move on. Now, I always joke, my sister, she's single. She's in her 50s. I love my sister. She's a very colorful person. And anybody that's watching this that knows my sister, you can probably thumbs up right now because y'all know my sister's off the chain. But she's single. She's living her best life. But I joke with her because I always say, all right, she tell me about a new dude that she met. And I'm like, all right, 90 days starts now. And I tease her. And so I'm like, okay, where he at on 90 days? Where he at on 90 days? He only got 90 days. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? And he's gone. But I joke and I laugh about it, but I applaud her. I really do. Because she has seen something in that person that she's not willing to deal with. And I think that everybody should get to that point where they can say, I'm worthy and I'm worth more. And yes, I do like this person, or I'm hella attracted to this person, or they check all my boxes except one. So I'm going to make it work. But what are you really giving up on that other end, right? What are you giving up? Are you giving up a peace of mind? Are you giving up sleep at night? Are you giving up money? Are you giving up time? Now, we talked about time. Time, something you can't get back, right? So let's think about removing toxicity from our plates. Now, I've spent a good portion of today's episode talking about relationships, but we can also pivot that over to friendships. And I think in friendships, we start to give people passes, meaning, I'm going to talk about two parts of this. I'm going to talk about giving people passes, and then I'm going to talk about giving people your peace. And then you finding that middle ground of where it stops for you. Because we have expectations with any situation that we get into, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a relationship, whether it's a coworkership, a situationship, a conversationship. It takes two, right? And you have to be willing. So if you're willing to say that you are in a situation of a friendship with someone, first of all, let's define what that friendship looks like. What's your definition of friendship and what's their definition of friendship? It's almost like you got people that you're like, oh yeah, so-and-so my bestie, but guess what? You may not be that person's bestie. It may be somebody else. So your expectations out of that friendship are already tainted because you're going to expect a higher level of care from this person or a higher level of respect from this person. They're not willing to give you that because you're not on that level with them. You're an associate to them, but they're your best friend. So you got to be on equal playing fields in any relationship that you're in. Now, when I say the other side of that is, what expectations are you having? If you are a loyal person to fault, like myself, if I say you're a friend, you're a friend. I'm riding with you. We gonna ride this thing out. We're gonna have some tough conversations. We're gonna move past those tough conversations. I may curse you out at 9 a.m., but then ask you at 4 p.m. if you want to go to happy hour. That's just how real I am, right? Because Kesha said it. It's all about being real on this channel. And so my expectations are, if I have made known to you that you are my friend, quote unquote, I expect a certain level of communication, reciprocation, and respect. And if I find at any given moment that I'm not getting that, guess what? I'm done. We're going to have a tough conversation about it. It's almost like that progressive work plan, like what is it called? Performance coaching. I'm gonna call you into the office. We're gonna have a conversation about it. And then if I feel like it's still not moving in the direction I needed to move in, and you're still not giving me what I need, then I gotta go. And because of that, I have been looked at as a tough friend, a hard friend, a selfish friend. Well, sometimes you got to be selfish, because why? You got to respect your own peace. You got to keep your own peace. You can't keep giving people your time and your space and your grace, and you're not getting nothing in return. And that goes for men, woman, child, cat, dog, or whoever. Okay. You have to respect yourself enough to understand that you need a certain level of peace and a certain level of respect from anybody that you deal with, anybody that you gonna let in your space. And the moment you realize that, the moment you will not have any issues sleeping at night, the moment you will be perfectly okay cutting people off and moving forward. It's no hard feelings, but you're just not that person for me. Whether you're a friend or not, whether you're a lover or not, whether you're a coworker or not, I just know how to move with you. I just know what space to put you in. And I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I gotta go. Right? I gotta go right now. But you got to do that, because you have to respect your space and your peace. And the older you get, the more you will realize that. So ask yourself, what are you willing to tolerate in any situation or relationship? What are you not willing to compromise? I could tell you right now, I'm not willing to compromise my peace, because peace is another thing like time that you cannot get back unless you are willing to make that change. And that change starts with you. Now, it also can be flip side. You got to understand when you've fallen short in your end of the bargain. Are you a good friend? Are you a good husband, a good wife, a good sister, a good daughter, a good cousin, a good confidant, a good coworker, a good employee? What are you not bringing to the table? And sometimes that's hard to look at. When you take that mirror and you're looking in that mirror and you're having that conversation with yourself, and you're like, damn, man, I really dropped the ball on this. Like, oh, yeah, that was my fault. I'm okay walking in that space, because I know when I mess up, I will come to you and be like, you know what? Yeah, my bad. My bad. That's all on me. That's all on me. I apologize. And it should be okay. But recognizing your own faults, what you're bringing to the table, what you're not bringing to the table to make your relationships work. That's what love is. That's all love is. And that's when you're going to get that balance. You're going to get that balance. You're going to get that reward from all of your relationships. You'll see that 360 change. I'm sorry, 180 change. Because we don't want to go back where we started, right? We want to improve our situation. So you'll start to see that change. So today's word of the day is grace. And when I say grace, I mean giving yourself grace, giving others grace and space. When you realize that maybe this isn't the friendship for you, give them some grace, do some self-reflection and say, is it me, or is it just really not working out? And if it is you, apologize for it, have a tough conversation, and see what y'all need to do to move forward. Y'all, maybe the damage is done. Maybe you can't move forward, and that's okay. In this time, in this moment, we don't know what a year from now may bring. We don't know where 2 years from now may bring. And you guys may never cross paths again. Same thing in a relationship. You know, they say season, reason. What is it? Season, reason, season, and there's something else. You know, people really do have a season. And sometimes people aren't meant to be in your space forever. They may be put there for a reason. They're put there to maybe show you something about yourself, show you something about other people, teach you a life learned lesson. They may be a stepping stone. I hate to say stepping stone because that kind of has like a negative connotation to it, but it's a reason why they're there. Okay. So give yourself some space and some grace. Give your situation some space and some grace. Give your friendships some space and some grace. Give your relationship some space and some grace. And understand that you only get out of life what you put in it. And I say life because that applies to everything. If you give 10%, you're probably going to get back 8%. If you give 150%, then you'll get back 100%. So always strive to give more And if you get hurt along the way, it's okay, because you did what you could do, and you can walk away. You can walk away feeling all right. You're going to sleep at night. Everything going to be all right. All right. So thank you for tuning in to episode 2, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Join us on a conversation. The guests are going to be here shortly. In a couple of episodes, I will have someone on here, and we're just going to sit back, chill, and we're going to have a fire topic, and we're just going to talk about some stuff, right? So continue to follow me. Kesha Said It on YouTube. Drop a comment, drop a heart, subscribe, tell a friend. I love you guys. And remember, it's okay to say the things that other people are saying. And if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Just come to YouTube, because Kesha said it. Bye, guys. Peace.